Hi there, Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk Bounty video. And in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Star Wars The Vintage Collection Imperial Armored Commando from The Mandalorian. Now, of course, these are the awesome troopers that we saw towards the end of Season 3 of The Mandalorian. There was absolutely loads of them flying around, and also the Mando himself, Din Djarin, had to take on a few of them as well, with the help of IG-12, which we also do have that figure for. And like IG-12, this is another deluxe figure on one of these slightly larger card backs. And in the main, I don't really mind them doing these, except for Hammerhead. As I mentioned in my Hammerhead review, they shouldn't be putting original 96 figures on these larger card backs. But any other figure, I really don't mind it really, except for the fact with this one, it is a army builder, and you know, I'm sure you guys out there like me would like a few of these guys. So hopefully Hasbro in the future will release like some kind of 4-pack or something where we can get more of these guys, because with the cost that is attached to one of these deluxe figures, it doesn't really lend itself to army building. So hopefully Hasbro sort that out and release him again without all of these extra, you know, riot shield and things like that. All we really need is the trooper and his blaster, if you ask me. But this one is a deluxe. He comes with all the extra bits, and we will be checking it out. As far as I know, it's an all-new figure as well, so obviously it's going to have all of the articulation. He's going to be able to get into some awesome poses, I'm sure, and we'll be checking all of that out as well. But if you happen to enjoy the video, hit the like button down below, subscribe if you're new, and let's just take a look at the card back real quick. All right then, so here is the card back. You can see the figure and all the accessories in the bubble there, and the image that they've used there looks to me like it has been taken straight from the source material, but then again, it does look ever so slightly photoshopped. And when I first looked at it, I honestly thought it looked like something from Star Wars Rebels. It had that sort of animated look about it. I'm not too sure if maybe I thought that the helmet was a little bit oversized for his body. When you look at the figure, he actually looks like he's got a much smaller helmet compared to, you know, the image on the card there. But again, we'll check that out when we actually take the figure out of the bubble. I'm sure it's fine really. It's probably just my eyes playing tricks on me, but they've used the red name pill, red panel behind the figure. There's all the accessories. You get loads of accessories with this figure. He is numbered. The deluxe figures are numbered, VC366 on there. And there you can see the figure there on the back holding the riot shield and the sort of riot baton there. Vintage Collection logo, nice and bold. Disney and Hasbro at the bottom. But yeah, I'm not really going to be keeping these sort of deluxe cards carded. I really see no point, and I do want maybe 4, 5, 6 of these guys. So as I said, I do hope that Hasbro find another way of getting these out, because I don't really want to pay, you know, 6 times the cost of this one. All right then, so here is the Imperial Armored Commando out of the packaging, and I've currently got him in his riot gear setup, so he's holding the shield and the baton. But we will take a closer up look later on in the video at all of the accessories and how he holds them and how well he holds them and things like that. But I've got him with the shield and the baton. You get a couple of other accessories as well. You get the little knife, and you also get this other blaster. And you also get a side blaster as well, which is currently in his holster. And as I say, we'll take a look at all of those in the video. But what I wanted to talk about first and foremost is the quality of the figure. For me, this figure feels really, really good quality, and you'd hope so as well, considering it's a deluxe figure. But just in terms of the plastic that they've used, for some reason it just doesn't feel as soft maybe as some other figures that we've had in the past. I don't know, it just feels really, really good quality in my opinion. Obviously he's got all of the articulation you're ever going to need because he's a brand new sculpt, and I had a good look at the Black Series version of this figure, and to me it looks like a scaled down version. Of course, there are going to be some slight differences. For example, on the Black Series figure, the holster for the side blaster has a little clip that goes over it. For the 3.75 inch version, that obviously would have been a too thin piece of plastic, so they haven't included that. What I would say also is that there isn't really anywhere to store the knife, and I looked on the Black Series version one as well, and there isn't anywhere on that figure. Although I don't think the Black Series version even comes with the knife. It's not a deluxe figure in the Black Series line. It's a standard figure. He only comes with the 2 blasters, I believe. You don't get any of the riot gear that this 3.75 inch version has. But as I said, it's a wonderful figure. Really, really nice. The armor's really nice and bright white colors. And we'll take a closer up look at the figure right now so we can get a look at some of those details. All right then, so here is a close-up look at the Trooper, and I've got to say, you really do feel that they may have taken some inspiration from this original prototype of Fett, have they not? I'm pretty sure they have, but here is the Imperial Armoured Commando. I think their armour is made of Beskar, I do believe, if I remember correctly, but this guy, even though he's pretty much all white and grey, has some nice details on it as well. You can see the details on the helmet there, the paint applications, but also on that little chest readout there. Some nice silvers and some reds going on that little control panel. Some quite intricate paintwork going on. He has another little red flash there, and also on his arm as well. Turning the figure around, we've seen that piece before. This is the jetpack, which is removable, and it's got exactly the same connector as that Mandalorian figure. We'll just bring him in very quickly. So obviously that is another way that they could sell us another Mandalorian, just giving him that jetpack, but now we've actually got it with the proper figure as well, and also the correct blasters as well. On this arm, you've got another similar sort of patch there, and then you've got those details on the gauntlet. But apart from that, the figure is kind of like a dark grey bodysuit, but his torso is a different coloured grey, as you can see there, compared to the rest of the suit. And there's some of the details of the helmet there. It's got to be said, they are a cool design. They really are. I definitely want a few of these. Create a little army. There's the side blaster, which just is sort of like a soft vinyl piece of plastic attached to the belt. You can just see there it bends around quite well, and the blaster fits in really, really nicely. But we'll just take the blaster out for now, just so you can take a look at that. Tiny little blaster. But what a great figure. It really is a great figure. I mean, you know, I never really sort of agree with the deluxe pricing, but when we look at other figures that have been deluxe, like Jango Fett, for example, you're getting a lot more for your money with this figure. Really, really good. And now we'll just take a look at the articulation before we take a look at the included accessories. So the head will be on a double barbell, plenty of movement on that head. We have the hinges at the shoulders. They go all the way round. And the little shoulder armor pieces here are these sort of like, again, soft vinyl plastic just attached under those sort of shoulder armor there, just so you can move that arm around without that getting in the way, which is pretty cool. Just be careful not to sort of do it too many times, otherwise that piece is going to, you know, become a bit loose. We have hinges at the elbows, and also what I would say is that the articulation, you know, the joints are actually quite sort of hard to move out of package, so I would just be a bit careful when you're moving those joints. You might want to loosen them up a little bit, and that might have something to do with the sort of tougher plastic that they're using with this figure. But he has decent elbows. They go a little past 90, but not too much after that. Of course, we have hinges at the wrists. We have the really good torso joint. Plenty of range of motion there. No hip swivel as well, but we do have the barbell hips. We have the split at the top of the thigh. Knee joints on this guy, really good, past 90. And then we have the rocker ankles as well. So plenty of range of motion, plenty of articulation that you know, all the articulation that you are going to need to get him into some really decent poses. There's the jetpack once more. We've seen that before, of course. But yeah, really nice figure. Very, very impressive, this one. Just looks super cool. Moving on to the accessories. First up, we've got the riot shield, which is a grey piece of plastic. It's like a gunmetal grey with some black details in each corner. We have the translucent triangular piece in the center there. So that is actually a piece of plastic. And you can actually see how they've accomplished that on the back. They've incorporated it with the way that he holds it as well. And it is only designed for his left arm. So obviously his arm goes in this piece and his hand goes in there. And I can just show you very quickly how easy that is to do. So what I did is I sort of attached it in his hand first and then moved it back to plug his arm in to the shield like that. And then obviously you can move his arm around. So he has the shield in front of him there. So yeah, really nice piece. Nice accessory to have. To go with the shield, you have his like riot baton, which has a translucent blue piece at the end there, surrounded by a 3-pronged black piece of plastic, which is attached to a gunmetal grey piece. And there you can see the piece that he holds it with. And again, this is kind of designed for his right hand. And although the right hand is designed more for the blaster, he does hold it well. It can get a little bit loose, but he does hold it pretty well, as you can see. Like so. Next accessory is the larger of the 2 blasters, and I've got to say the plastic is getting better and better with these now. This isn't gummy or bendy at all. Really, really good quality, much better, big improvement. And there is one small piece of paint application on there. You can just see a bit of sort of silver detail going all the way round. But apart from that, it's a black, sort of quite shiny piece of plastic. But again, it's, you know, really quite tough, which is always good to see. Then he has his hand blaster, which has got a little bit of detail on it. No paint applications whatsoever. But again, it's quite a shiny finish for the plastic. And again, not gummy at all. And then finally, we have this tiny little sort of boot knife here, and that's the only problem with it. There is nowhere to store this. At least I can't see it on the figure. It doesn't attach to his boot or anything like that. And we've had this problem with the Mandalorian as well. I think he had a little knife and that didn't go into his boot either. So a little bit disappointing. But there you can see, tiny little accessory. It's just a grey piece of plastic. But again, there is some detail, sculpting work on the handle there. You can just see. Pretty cool. So again, you know, the figure will hold that quite well, but when he's not holding that, you've got nowhere to store it. So that's the only real disappointment. So there you go then. That is the Imperial Armoured Commando, and I'll just put him in a few poses for you. But this is him kneeling down with the sort of rifle-style blaster. Looks absolutely awesome. Alright then guys, so that is the Imperial Armoured Commando from The Mandalorian Season 3. Gotta say, it's an awesome figure. I do believe that it is available in stock on Amazon and on Entertainment Earth. I think they're shipping now. So there are links in the description below if you wanted to use those links. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this figure. Have you ordered one? How many have you ordered? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters and channel members. As always, your support means a great deal to me, so thank you so much. Thank you for watching, everybody, and we shall see you on the next one.